Welcome back to episode 10 of
That Gym Couple podcast.
Hosted by
Lucy? No, that's not how it goes.
Oh, we've messed it up now.
Also, it's very slow. Let's just get into it.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome back to episode 10 of That Gym Couple podcast.
Let's go again because we
Not too fast. Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 10 of That Gym Couple podcast.
Hosted by Cal and Lucy.
Good job.
Episode 10.
Can you believe that?
No, that's quite crazy, to be fair. I wouldn't have thought... not that I don't have faith in us to be able to do things, but I'm surprised a little bit that we've carried on this far.
Yeah, and there has been times, like 2 minutes ago, when I really could have done with not recording tonight.
Lucy's having a mare today, aren't you?
I'm just tired. Like
she lost it because she forgot to buy eggs earlier.
Go on, dig me out in front of everyone.
It's fine.
Yeah. Not all I look forward to, but I really look forward to my breakfast. At the moment, I've got back into avocados.
Nice.
I haven't eaten avocados for so long, and now I'm having a bagel with avocado and eggs.
Yeah.
And I've forgotten my eggs. And I had no oat milk for my coffee, but you've brought some round.
Yeah.
But I'm just very, very busy, very long days. And it's like, I love doing this, but sometimes my head's not...
it's difficult. And like, if it's been a long day, it's very hard to...
And the day's not over yet. I've still got a lot of client work to do. So
it's just difficult when we want to settle down and do nothing in the evening and you're like, oh, crap, I've actually... Not that we don't love it, but I need to sit here for an hour at least to record this. And even if it's only 45 minutes, it takes us 20 minutes to set up. So
and you've got to post on social media. I've got to finish work, and not complaining. It's the dream job.
Yeah.
It's just January. I forgot how busy January was.
Yeah. No, I understand that.
And it's funny that comes after obviously Christmas when you've actually had a bit of time to chill out.
Yeah.
But anyway, how are you?
I'm good.
Enough about me.
I'm a bit sore. We both had a massage on Saturday, and I'm still feeling a little bit.
You can call it a massage. I think we just got beaten up.
Just BDSM.
Oh crikey! Don't know what happened in your session.
Yeah, no, it was. Do you know what? It was definitely needed, and I felt it in my session today. I actually had a really good session. Like everything was
felt the right muscles.
Everything was going well. Yeah. Some of the muscles just weren't working the way that they were supposed to. So it was good to just sort of have a bit of a reset and feel like I am a human being again.
Yeah. Well, we push our bodies hard, don't we, in our training? So recovery is really important, and we often neglect that.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, we take our rest days, but a massage is a luxury, really. Like, it's not cheap.
No.
But when you push your body like we do, as much as we do, it is really needed.
And unfortunately, I'm probably going to need another one now because
I know,
honestly, a few days back of training.
Pure agony.
It
was a sports massage, and when we say sports massage, like...
I had like
full on
elbow in
you
the
had, what was it?
Hamstring. I had
scrape.
Dry needlings.
Don't talk to
scraping.
me about the acupuncture. That was awful.
That was just I left feeling very abused.
Yeah, me too.
But
it wasn't one of them where you're like, oh, that was so relaxing.
Yeah.
It was like, oh God. Anyway, he's great. So
yeah,
and we feel good now.
Shout out to Alistair. Thank you. It was well needed. I saw him yesterday actually. He was like, how are you feeling? I was like,
not good.
I feel a bit broken.
But they do say like it's normally worse before it's better.
Yeah, of course.
But he's great because he's an osteopath. So you get the cracks, you get acupuncture, deep tissue.
When I tell you, like one of the first things he did was like crack my neck.
Oh, so
and
good.
It was scary. Like there was some decent cracks in that. Like there were some decent cracks, and he did it again at the end, just in a different way, and it was.
I had acupuncture, but my muscles were so tight, they just completely spasmed when the needles went in. They couldn't relax because they were so tight. So we literally had to take the needles straight back out again.
It's horrendous.
Yeah, it just shows, isn't it, how bad it is.
Just how dense your back is.
Yeah, literally. But anyway, should we dive straight in?
Yeah, so I thought we'd change this week and start off on a little game.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to sort of
spice it up.
Change the format. Why not?
Why not?
So this is...
We did say at the end of last week, like, we really enjoyed last week's episode. Hopefully you guys did too, but it was quite serious.
Yeah, it was quite serious. We want to have a bit more fun.
Yeah, like when we first started this, we were laughing a lot more.
Yeah.
I think we went into a deep dive.
Straight in. This
fitness.
is the hard truths.
Yeah, which was good, but we're going to have a bit more fun this episode.
Yeah. So this is a viral sort of trend, I guess, viral game people are playing. It's called blind ranks or blind ranking.
Okay.
So I'll give you a category and then I'll give you 5 subjects, or 5 areas within that category, and you have to blind rank them on where you
but I don't know all of them
between 1 and 5, but you don't know what's coming next.
So I'll give you one list.
No, you don't get the whole list. I'll give you one, and then you have to place it on a rank between 1 and 5, not knowing what the next one is. Okay.
Is it fitness related?
There's going to be... I'm going to do 2 rounds with you.
Okay.
I think, to be honest, after the first round, you could probably come up with your own round for me if you wanted to do it with me.
Yeah, okay.
And then I've got another one for you.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay, so the first one is gym exercises.
Okay. Well, that's the category.
That's the category. Okay, so I'm going to give you 5 gym exercises, and you've got to rank them from 1 to 5, 1 being the best, 5 being the worst.
Okay.
Not knowing what's coming next. Start off straightforward. Bicep curls.
Oh, God, so hard. 3.
Nice. Straight in the middle.
Yeah. I think it's a smart choice to go in the middle.
Back squat.
For me, personally, I don't do them. So that would be a 5 for me.
5?
Yeah, I hate them.
Straight up on the... Oh, there's some... Okay.
Don't come for me.
Press up.
4.
4?
Yeah. I'm not doing a press up.
Okay, so you've got 1 and 2 left.
Yeah. Oh.
Bulgarian split squat.
My quad just twitched. Oh, it's going to have to be 2. That can't be 1.
2.
2, because although vile, great exercise.
You don't know what 1 is?
No, I'm just saying.
The final exercise is a burpee. Burpee's number 1.
Did you just make that up?
No. So your exercise list, your Lucy's exercise blind rank is burpee, Bulgarian split squat, press up, then burpee, Bulgarian split squat, bicep curls, press ups, back squat.
Okay, I stand by all of them, but obviously I didn't know you were coming in with the burpee.
That's the whole point. You've got to be prepared for these things, you know? Do you think you could come up with a category?
Can I do food?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've got a blind rank food.
You guys know that we're foodies. Okay. First one, sushi.
Oh. I love sushi. We have a sushi like lunch pretty much once a week when we go food shopping.
Yeah.
Sushi Sundays.
But that
usually.
Sushi isn't that great. Think about the best sushi, like Portugal sushi.
Yeah, but I don't know what's coming. 3, because sometimes sushi can be a little bit off.
Yeah, fair. Okay, so 3. I haven't thought about
You're salivating, I can see. Just thinking about it.
Nando's.
Oh. 4. You can do better than Nando's.
Okay.
I like a Nando's, but you can do better.
Okay, fair. Italian food.
Just Italian food in general?
Yeah. No, pasta.
Pasta.
Like your favourite pasta dish.
1.
1.
Yeah.
Okay. Pizza.
2.
Burger.
5. I'm okay with that.
You're okay with burger being 5? We have burgers all the time.
No, I know, but I'm okay with that just purely because I think pasta and pizza, trump everything.
You must admit you would have put pizza as number 1 if you knew that was coming.
No, I
surely.
think I probably would. I'm okay with mine. I'm okay with mine how it is.
Fair. I mean, I had to think of them on the spot, so
no, that was good.
It wasn't like I was coming in with like
hot.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Your next category is me. So you have to blind rank things about me.
Oh God.
Without knowing what's coming next.
Okay.
Okay.
Can they all be 5? Joke.
Out of 5. 10 out of 10.
No.
Okay.
Go on. Is this too high?
No, you're fine. Okay, first one is my smile.
Oh. That's tricky. That's so hard.
Come
2.
On. 2. Oh, I'll take that.
2.
I'll take that. Okay. My chat. My Riz.
1.
Really?
Yeah.
That's 1?
Yeah, you got good chat.
It's awful chat.
What?
I've got awful chat.
I'm sorry, I could not be with someone if they didn't have good chat.
No, my
and
chat
you make
is
me laugh.
awful.
Why are you outing yourself with having awful chat?
Okay, my sense of humour.
No, that comes under chat.
No, it doesn't.
Wait, what do you classify? Classify?
Like, classify.
Classify as chat? Do you mean like your chat up lines? Like
Yeah.
Scratch,
my Riz,
scratch,
my
scratch,
Riz.
scratch. No, I thought you meant reverse. I thought you meant chat as in like sense of humour.
No.
Okay, I have to be able to change. Chat is going to have to come 4.
Okay.
Sense of humour 1.
Okay.
Sorry. Go. Next one.
My singing. I love singing. I'm a proper car singer, aren't I?
Yeah. I do love your singing, but I'm going to go 5. Because I feel like something good's coming for 1.
5?
I'm sorry. It's either 1 or 5, and I've got to save 1.
5?
I've got to save
I'm a great
1.
singer.
Yeah, you're all right. No, you are
All
good.
right.
You
This is shocking.
Right, come on. What's the next one?
I'm hurt.
What's your next one?
I would... Oh,
So you would prefer... Go on, say the next one.
my toes.
5.
No,
oh,
you can't.
That's
You
awful.
can't.
Your
Yeah.
toes give me the ick.
My toes are, what, 3? Or 2 or something?
Men's feet, vile.
Where have you put them? 2 or 3?
Sorry, I thought you might actually say your face or your looks
No,
or your hair
no.
or your fashion. Like,
No.
right,
I've
well,
only got 5 categories.
I messed that up.
Yeah, well.
Right, it's my turn now.
Okay, go on.
I haven't thought about this. My eyes.
2.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I mean, they're just brown. They're nothing special, but thanks.
I like me a brown-eyed girl.
Oh. Okay, that's number 2. My fashion.
So I know you'd rate this very highly, and it's not that I don't think it's good. I just know there's better things to come.
Is there?
Yeah, sure.
Careful.
4.
Okay, so eyes, fashion.
I mean, you're dressed the same as me, so I can't really go.
No, but like normal clothes.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah. My work ethic.
What did I do for eyes? 2. 3. Oh, I fucked it. I've got 1 and 5 left.
I need to think this through. It's like a game.
You got to think of 2. You got to think of 2 now. You can't just think of 1 and then be like, "Oh, I'm gonna get him on the next one."
I'm trying to think. Can't say anything rude because your mum listens. My laugh.
Your laugh. Oh, 1.
You love my laugh.
I love
don't
your
you?
laugh.
My laugh is horrendous, but you love it.
Yeah. Yeah, 1.
Okay.
What's 5?
I don't know.
Nothing. Nothing's 5. It's all 4s and up.
Well, you have to rate it 5 regardless now.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter, does it?
All right, I'll give you an easy one then. My fake tan addiction.
Yeah, that toilet.
I don't know
your toilet seat would get that a 5 as well, to be honest.
I don't know why I did that. Just that was an easy one. Yeah. Obviously, you'd rate that 5.
Yeah.
That's good though.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just something to have a little bit of fun.
Something to mull over.
So this week, we are talking about reverse dieting, bulking, basically the opposite of what we spoke about last week. Mm-hmm. So not only sort of how it works, how we manage it for ourselves and for our clients, but also what it encompasses in terms of how your body changes, how you feel mentally about things, and all that jazz.
What to expect, yeah. Wanting to go down that route.
Yeah, because there are a lot of people who are not cutting through January. You're not cutting. Traditionally, people typically would start the year with some sort of diet phase and cutting and trying to lose fat as much as they can. But yeah, not everyone does. So
yeah, and as you said before as well, it's like actually that might come later, so it's good to be aware of it, because a lot of, just for example, my clients and people that I work with, they'll get to their fat loss goal, which is fantastic, but then they're like, cool, done now, I'll just carry on my own, and that's great, but you don't want to carry on in a fat loss phase for the rest of the year into another year. That's when you start to lose your progress, because you think, well, I've got to stay in a calorie deficit to maintain my progress, when actually you don't. The reverse diet is literally the reverse of the diet.
Yeah.
You gradually, well, we'll go into it in a second, but you don't just come out of the calorie deficit, and you also don't just carry on the calorie deficit forever. Yeah. So there has to be something afterwards.
Yeah. So I think that we should probably start by explaining what it is and the purpose of it. So a bulk or reverse diet, I mean, to be honest, I'd probably class them as slightly different things. A reverse diet potentially will be straight out of a diet phase, and then a bulk for me is possibly something. I guess maybe it's the connotations that's associated with it. They kind of mean the same thing, but you tend to use reverse diet more in your vocabulary, and I think that's probably because of your clientele.
Mm-hmm. It is.
A bulk doesn't sound too appealing to most women, I guess.
What have we said so many times? Women say, I don't want to get bulky. Yeah, if you then say, we're going into a bulk, they're instantly like, oh my gosh, no.
So a bulk or reverse diet is a phase of gaining weight. Most commonly, it's associated with gaining muscle or lean muscle mass, and that's the kind of end goal. You are in a calorie surplus as opposed to a calorie deficit when you are cutting or in a diet phase. And the idea is that you gain lean muscle through training and your diet and nutrition.
Yeah, and the reason you say lean muscle tissue is because we try to typically do it in a slow, incremental way. So the reverse diet, and the way I do it with my clients is, let's say they've just finished their fat loss phase, and let's say their calorie deficit calories were 1,400, for example. We would then gradually start to increase their calories back up week by week. What we don't do, or some coaches out there might do it differently, but what I do personally is not just say, right, now we're going to eat 2,000 calories, because if you do that, it's going to be quite a shock to the body. You've just been in a calorie deficit, and that food is more likely to go to fat gain rather than building muscle.
And I think, people commonly associate a bulk or reverse diet with dirty bulking, which a lot of people can end up slipping into if they don't track regularly. I did, without even thinking of it. I wasn't tracking what I was doing last year. I was kind of gaintaining, which is another sort of word for not really sort of tracking too much what I was eating.
Just eating a lot.
The idea was to sort of maintain the size that I had, the muscle that I had, but also potentially gain a little bit. So that's what I'd possibly class as a bit of as a bulk with like or a reverse diet with like a sort of very small surplus.
Yeah,
but
and you can control that.
I stopped tracking, and it very quickly turned into a bit of a dirty bulk where I was just sort of eating whatever I wanted to eat, and with that I ended up putting on more fat than I probably wanted to,
because you end up not eating necessarily the right foods. But that can be quite easy, because as your calories start to increase, so you're increasing gradually each week, maybe by 100 calories a week, depending on what's happening with your weight. That's why you do it slowly, to minimize fat gain. But it gets to a point where if the calories are pretty high, it can be hard to get that food in by only eating quote unquote clean food.
Yeah, absolutely.
It gets to the point where you're like, I've got like 700 calories left today. I'm going to have a pizza and chips. And then it becomes...
Yeah,
you're not quite eating the right food.
Every day you're then sort of eating, and then you're like, I've got an extra 200 calories. I'll have a chocolate bar in the evening.
Because it's quick and it's easy.
And then before you know it, every night you're having a chocolate bar in the evening. Then it's 2 chocolate bars.
Yeah.
And then your calories go up again. You're struggling to eat them.
And also you sort of think, well, I can probably have that because I'm on a bulk. So
yeah, like if I go over, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, because I'm trying to eat more food.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
It's not, but like that is, like you say, is when it can get a little bit more towards you're gaining fat than gaining muscle. But obviously, as we spoke about on this podcast before, you cannot build muscle without food, really, because that's how the muscle tissue grows. It helps fuel it. So
protein, carbs, fats, it's all necessary. Speaking of that, I watched a really interesting video on like a study done on bulking and sort of what the difference is between a clean bulk and a dirty bulk were, and the benefits from a dirty bulk. So you actually, in the study, the participants on a dirty bulk grew more muscle, lean muscle mass, than those who were on a clean bulk.
Interesting.
But it was negligible compared to the amount of fat that they put on during that period as well. So although, you know, of those participants who took part in the study, although they did increase their muscle mass more, they also gained a hell of a lot more fat than the other people.
They did. Yeah, and then that becomes a lot harder to
then get
rid of.
Yeah.
But that's why we go through these cycles, because, you know, if you want to build that physique that's kind of toned and defined, you need to have muscle.
Yeah.
So you want to go through the phase of building that muscle, and then what normally happens is you then cut. So then you shred off the fat that you might have gained during that bulk to show off the muscle that you've built. So that's why people kind of cycle around cutting and bulking. But
it's obviously comes from a sort of bodybuilding background where people would cut for a show and then they'd need to put on more muscle for the show the next year. So in their off season. So post show they'd have a bulking phase, and that could be several months, it could be several years, depends on obviously how much muscle mass they feel they need to put on in what areas, and then on the back of that, as you said, they'd then cut again. So, and
obviously you can just maintain, like if you're happy with where you're at, you can just eat your maintenance calories and that can be that. But for me, I don't have as much muscle on my body as I would like. I'm not as strong in the gym as I would like. Hence, when January came around, I was like, I'm not going to just diet because everyone else is dieting.
Yeah,
well, I want to commit myself to building muscle.
We sat there, didn't we? And we worked out what your goals were. We looked at a time frame. We worked out windows of phases that we could implement. And you were like, okay, right, well, let's bulk then for the first bit. So that was your plan. I was the opposite. I was like, I've got time to cut here, and then I'll have a bit of a maintenance phase, and then I'll cut again, I think.
Yeah, and ideally, like I probably would have started the bulk a bit more seriously in like September, October, because the longer you can do it, the better, really.
Yeah.
I've not given myself as much time as I would have liked, but I can do that next year.
What would you say then are the negative connotations surrounding a bulk or a reverse diet?
Look, a bulk, a reverse diet, whatever you want to call it, is not easy. I think obviously a fat loss phase is not easy either. Neither are easy, but people often think a reverse diet is going to be easy because you get to eat more food. You do, like it's great, but it's more of a mind game.
I was going to say,
diet.
I completely agree. I think if you're cutting or dieting, that is typically just generally harder because the further you get into it, the more exhausted you are. You do get tired, you struggle, you get hungry. I mean, the hunger subsides a little bit, but then your coach will then drop your calories again, and you're going, crap.
You got to do more as well.
You got cardio, keeping active, and that all helps. Obviously, you don't have to do all those things, but they help. If you want, you could just drop your calories by a couple of 100 calories from your maintenance. You will lose weight, but it's going to take a lot longer time, and eventually it's going to start plateauing a little bit. So that's very difficult in the sense that I think it's very draining a cut. A bulk is definitely a mind game. It's very much you have to constantly fight yourself with I don't need to eat more than I need to eat. Body image issues start coming into it a lot because you start looking at yourself going,
your body changes.
I look fat. Even if you're like a couple of weeks in, you might be going like, oh, I feel bloated all the time, or I just don't feel good, or whatever.
Even if your weight stayed the same, like I have it with my clients a lot. You know, my clients that are reverse dieting, they get to the point where, do you know, the one thing I would say if you're going to do a reverse diet, and this, if you take anything from this, get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because
100%.
a reverse diet is not a comfortable thing to do. Once you start getting, you know, I'm not talking just eating like 1,700, 800 calories. When you start pushing the calories, I'm talking for women here, obviously, past 2,000 for me is quite a lot. Like last time I did it, my calories were high. And it was hard to eat that much food. And like you say, it becomes a mind game. Your body starts to change. You feel quite bloated a lot of time because you're eating a lot of carbohydrates. You're retaining a lot of water. None of my jeans fit me anymore. I remember trying to get my jeans on. I literally couldn't get them over my calves. And then I couldn't get them over my bum. Then I couldn't get them off. Had to buy all new jeans. But that meant something was happening. It was working, what I was doing. You know, if you do a reverse diet and everything stays the same, your weight stays the same, you don't gain any fat, chances are you're not building muscle either. You're just staying the same.
You're probably not in. I mean, you know, we know lean muscle weighs more than fat.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's loads of machines you can step on these days which will tell you your body fat percentage, tell you your lean muscle mass, and proper scans you can do that give you
proper ones are probably better to do, aren't they?
Yeah, of course they are. But typically they're quite costly, or you got to have a reason to do them. So, but knowing all that information is useless unless you're able to actually act on it. You know, knowing how much lean muscle mass you have and going, like I've got this much lean muscle mass, but then if your body fat percentage is way higher and, like, you know, in the over percentile, and your lean muscle mass is in the under percentile, it's knowing that, okay, well, I've got to strip some fat down first before I'm even going to see any.
Yeah,
you know,
that's another really good point actually, is that not always, but typically we would prefer to start a reverse diet from a leaner physique, from a lower body fat percentage. So if I know I always say clients, but that's what I do with mine. Yeah. You know, if a client comes to me and says, I really want to build muscle, I want to get strong, that's great. And I'm not necessarily just going to go, no, we're not doing that. But I will need to look at their photos and then decide what process we need to do first to get them the best results. Because typically better results will come from that leaner physique. So we might do a fat loss phase first, shred some body fat.
Even if it's only 8 weeks or so.
Yeah, just a short fat loss phase, tidy things up, and then start the reverse diet. Typically, you will probably get better results doing it that way. Unless you start from a leaner physique and then just go straight in if you want to. It's tough. It's tough to eat more. It's tough to get your head around the fact that you're not trying to lose weight, that the scale weight isn't going to be going down, and that you're not in a calorie deficit anymore. Yeah.
Just going back on the one, I think from a coaching's perspective as well, that first initial cut before you do a bulk gives an idea of what areas you need to bring up. So you can't always see that if there's excess body fat. You can't always see, you know, if you've got really good delts but not very good back muscles. I don't know, like it could be anything. you can't necessarily see what muscles are actually popping a little bit more than others if there's a bunch of body fat on top of it. So bringing that body fat down, and then obviously looking and working a plan exactly on how we're going to bring up those other body parts, whether it's training them more or training the other ones less, however you want to do it. That gives us an idea of obviously how we can go ahead and achieve the goals that people set out.
And also,
to achieve.
You know, if someone inquires for coaching and says, I feel really insecure, I hate what I look like, I can't look in the mirror, I can't wear the clothes I want to wear, you know, it's not going to make sense to be like, okay, we're going to go into a reverse diet. That's going to make you feel worse because you're going to eat lots of food, probably get quite bloated. No, obviously the logical thing is to lose that body fat and make you feel great about yourself before we do that. But it's important to know that you don't have to spend your whole life in a calorie deficit to maintain your results. You can maintain your fat loss results by just slowly and come out of the calorie deficit slowly and just kind of maintain. It doesn't even have to be that you go into a surplus, but you don't have to be in a calorie deficit forever.
No, of
just
course
to
not.
Stay
and that's not
lean.
Sustainable because you're more likely to break those habits if any of your phases are too long. You're more likely to break them.
Yeah,
it's very difficult. And we, you know, when we were over the sort of Christmas period and just before that, we had a lot of social events on, and we were both kind of going, "Oh yeah, we're bulking." But I think for us, it was a bit of an excuse to just kind of go, "We're gonna just." Like we know at the weekends life. We're just going to enjoy ourselves and
but we
I'm
weren't
not going to think
we weren't doing that.
No, of course,
much.
no. But
we just weren't tracking.
The point is, we weren't tracking, so it's easy to then slip up and then have that extra little bit, have that, you know, go overboard just a tiny bit, and you haven't got an idea necessarily of how many calories you're eating.
Yeah,
and that can quite easily increase the body fat on you. Without giving you the sort of muscle mass that you're looking for. But
I think also like it's actually also okay to not track, you know, 365 days of the year.
100%.
We didn't really have like specific goals that we really wanted to achieve, so we weren't tracking. But we definitely don't feel as great as we did when we were tracking. We are both back to it now for 2 weeks. We've both been tracking every single thing we eat, and it feels good to know what you're putting in your body. And as we've spoken about before, that has a direct impact on your sleep, your digestion, your training, and your overall just mentality. You're going to feel better if you know what you're putting in your body. So, I mean, you don't always have to be tracking if you don't have a goal or you're just happy to
absolutely
be intuitive. That's fine. But
so, here's a question for you. Would you do cardio on a bulk or on a reverse diet?
Do you know what? It's a really good question because when I bulked last year, or even the year before maybe, I did keep, I think, like 1 30-minute cardio session. Yeah. Just for like general cardiovascular health. And also, when you're in a reverse diet and I'm not actually a very sweaty person. Like when I train, I hate it when people are like, "Oh, you haven't trained very hard, you're not very sweaty." I'm just not a very sweaty person.
I sweat just walking into the gym sometimes.
Yeah, I know you do.
But what's interesting is, lately I haven't been sweating as much as I used to.
Because you've lost some body fat.
Yeah, probably. And that's you know, I haven't got as much water in my body, and I'm not holding as much in terms of, you know, water retention. So that could possibly be a reason. I'm also a lot more conscious of how much I'm drinking throughout the day at the moment. So that's also probably helping. Yeah.
But I sometimes it's nice to just sweat. And like cardio obviously makes me sweat, but lifting weights, I do sweat a little bit, but not nowhere near it. Like you have like a wet back. Sorry, that's quite gross, but like that's not a bad thing. It's the gym.
It's 100%.
But I don't. So sometimes you can just feel like I just need to sweat. Like I just want to have a really good workout where I feel out of breath and I'm sweating. And as I said, it's good for health. But at the same time, you have to be aware
you're burning calories.
You're burning calories and you're trying to eat more. And if my weight, you know, I've been bulking for only 2 weeks now, but my scale weight's been going down. So I don't want to make it...
It went down, then it's gone up from last week, hasn't it? But it's still down from what it was the week before.
When it started, it's still down. Yeah. So
by
it's going in the right direction.
Negligible amounts, but it's interesting.
Yeah, but you know, I don't want to... I've only got 10 weeks in this bulk. Yeah. I don't want to make it any harder for myself than it already is to eat enough food.
Yeah.
I want to make sure, as much as it's a bit gross to be like, I'm just not going to do cardio for 10 weeks. I am doing little bits here and there, like 10-minute Stairmaster, maybe once or twice a week. But
and that's going to be what, like 100 calories or so burnt?
Yeah, it's nothing really.
So you know, that's the case of, okay, on those days where you do, maybe it's just a case of having a little bit extra food.
Yeah.
Just to, like, and I mean like a tiny bit extra food, just to sort of up it. That extra squares bar or something for your pre, just so you've got the energy getting through it and stuff. But it's interesting.
I think it's kind of a case-by-case basis, isn't it?
Because most people, you know, the norm is if you're bulking, you can't do cardio if you're bulking. It's like, it's just, you know, it's destroying your gains, man. Like that's the proper gym bro sort of ideology of it. And most people would probably share the same opinion there. But yeah, I think it's nice to continue doing something just for the health reasons alone.
Yeah.
Why this always so doing cardio helps your cardiovascular system, which helps get the nutrients around your body, which helps promote muscle growth. So if you've got a very good cardiovascular system and your blood can pump, you know, you can pump your blood from to muscles that you are training, they're going to grow more. Again, another study, full of the studies today. I know, I don't know why.
Who is this guy?
I don't read. So there's a scientific journal that published a study on two twins, identical twins.
Are you just like picking these out of like...
Yeah, just knowledge.
This one time at uni I read this study.
Yeah, basically. this is from my from when I did my masters. So there's these twins who did identical twins. They weighed them obviously all at the start and everything like that.
Sorry to interrupt, but I'm pretty sure there's a new Netflix thing that's come out on that. It's called You Are What You Eat, and it's two twins that have obviously just eaten. I haven't read into it, but I saw it the other day.
Interesting.
Sounds similar.
So basically they trained them the same way. One of them, they were both bulking. One of them did cardio and the other one didn't. The one who did cardio grew more lean muscle mass.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it was the same exercise program. They're eating exactly the same foods every day. And
interesting.
They reckon the study kind of concluded that the reason why is because their cardiovascular system was better than their twin. So their body was able to promote blood flow to the muscles they were training, which helped them grow.
That is really interesting.
There obviously could be many other reasons why that was the case, but that's obviously
still interesting. But then I guess also you have to consider like how much cardio are you doing?
Yeah, of
Sometimes
course.
I have clients who we've decided we are building muscle, like you're really, really lean, right? It's time to kind of go through the reverse diet, but they still want to do like 4 runs a week, and I'm like, you're going to be burning a lot of calories.
And I understand that
because
because a lot of the time that the training they're doing, especially like running, if you're really into running, you've obviously got like a something wrong with you. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. If you're really into running, a lot of people will have their sort of reasons for that. Like they want to beat they're running 5Ks or 10Ks and they want to beat their time. So they're getting into that point where they're running 4 times a week.
Yeah, you don't want to stop.
You don't want to stop.
Yeah.
And you feel fit and healthy and I completely understand that. But just know that if you also then want to grow muscle, you're probably hurting your chances of growing better muscle because you're burning more calories.
Because you're not going to be... The chances are you won't be in a surplus anymore. You're probably still in a calorie deficit.
And then you have to eat more.
You have to eat a lot more.
That's hard. It can be very hard.
And like your body, you know, training, doing a lot of cardio, eating a lot less food is really, really stressful on the body.
Again, it sounds... So, like, you know, when
I wasn't in the middle of a sentence. It's
sorry. I was going to say, you know, when you see those like 10,000 calorie challenges and you look at it and you're like, 10,000 calorie challenge? Like, that doesn't sound too hard. And you see what they're eating and it's all like pizzas. I
think that sounds hard.
I don't.
Yeah, it's because you're 6 foot.
Like 5,000 calorie challenge or something like that. You could eat 5,000 calories in a day. Like, but if I was like, here's a pizza, eat this large Domino's pizza, which is like 2,000 calories for dinner. Here's a tub of ice cream, dairy free, don't worry. You know, that's 1,000 calories, whatever. You'd get those numbers up quite quickly if it was.
I couldn't.
Over a day, you could. I think
maybe,
you could
but
quite
I
easily.
actually can't eat that much. Like I can eat a lot of food, but like say for ice cream, A couple of scoops is enough for me. Like,
it's enough, but ice cream's so easy to just consume a whole tub.
Yeah, and like you could go to Nando's and quite easily have like 2,000 calories. Like the chips are nearly 1,000 calories on their own.
Yeah. But that's the point. Like, how easy is it to, if you were doing a dirty bulk, to get those calories up?
Yeah.
But when you're talking about clean
it's hard.
food, it's so difficult.
Yeah.
I don't think people quite understand how much rice and pasta and stuff you need.
Speaking to someone that you work with, and she said that when she was bulking, she was eating like 3,000 calories. She's not, she's smaller than me.
Yeah.
It's a lot of food, and she literally made herself intolerant to foods because she ate so much rice, so much potatoes, so much yogurt, because she was trying to do it in the cleanest way possible. So there's lots of different ways to do it. Ultimately, I would say the most important thing to do, if you can, you guys know what I'm going to say, is have support. Do it with a coach, not only for the expertise and the knowledge that they will give you, but also the support, the mental support. Hopefully your coach gives that. I definitely do with my clients, because they'll come to me and say, oh no, I feel like I'm putting on weight. I feel really fat. I feel bloated. That's when your coach needs to get your photos up side by side and actually look at things logically and say, look at the photos.
Yeah.
You haven't gained fat. Look at the scale weight. You haven't gained fat. It plays on your mind, and it can make you just want to revert back to what you know, which is probably a calorie deficit. So yeah, if you can, I would say get help through a reverse diet, because we don't just help with fat loss. We help with building muscle too.
Yeah, I completely agree. We're there to support the whole journey, whatever your goals are.
Did we answer that? I guess we kind of, yeah. Is that everything we wanted to talk about? I
think so. Like, I think that's sort of rounded off quite nicely.
Have we got any
questions?
Like,
obviously, if anyone has any questions regarding reverse diets or bulking or anything like that, just send them over. Yep. We're more than happy to sort of go into it again if anyone needs. I have actually got one story and one question.
Hallelujah.
The story isn't very long, but it is.
Is it someone I know?
No. So I won't say the name, because not that it's like a thing, but they don't need to be called out.
No.
Huh. So I went to the gym and went to go fill up
Make sure you're talking into the mic. Your
I'm
head's down.
literally talking to the mic. You can see.
Last week when you went like that, it went really quiet.
You can see.
Yeah, I know, but your head's down.
Okay, but you can see.
Okay. Carry on.
I'll start again. I went to the gym and went to fill up my water bottle, and there were pomegranate seeds just scattered all over the floor of the gym near the water fountain.
Okay.
Dozens of them. I noticed they formed a loose trail, which I followed to the entrance of the women's changing room.
As you do, follow a pomegranate trail.
I could go no further. A mystery for another day.
Is that it?
Yeah, that was it. I was like, that was so random.
That is really
But
funny.
that is quite weird.
That's annoyed me. Like, I thought the mystery just never got solved.
Yeah. I guess they just carried on their train and they were like, well,
I just love that they went,
a trail.
Pomegranates. Wonder where that leads. And then just started following pomegranates around the gym.
What?
That is so funny.
What shocks me is someone's just discarded a load of pomegranate seeds on the floor.
Were they like having flavoured water? Like, was it one of those
maybe
things?
It's like spilt out
but
or
how
something.
Has it all come out?
I don't know.
You've like shaped your
maybe
bottle.
They bought one of those little tubs of pomegranate seeds and they were going to have them on a salad or something.
Oh, must be that. Like in M&S.
But then for it to like all fall on the floor like in a loose trail, it must have been falling out of their bag slowly.
I just love that they went, a mystery for another day.
Yeah. It was I followed them to the entrance of the women's changing room. I could go no further.
I feel like that person's just written a novel.
Yeah, I know.
I could go no further.
It's good, wasn't it?
That was good. Thanks for sharing that.
Okay, and the question for the day is from Les. Shout out to Les. I know he listens to a few. He's commented on some of the podcasts before. Yeah.
Is this from our Gym Couple podcast Instagram?
Yes.
Okay, because I was going to say I forgot to check
that Gym Couple podcast.
Yes.
On Instagram.
Yes.
So it wasn't. I then reposted it and he sent it from my
the details don't matter
thing. Callum Treacher _coaching on Instagram. So he said, how do you keep motivated going to the gym and training?
We don't.
No, we don't. The short answer is we don't. Motivation comes and goes, and that's a really hard thing to stay on top of. There are so many days of the week where I can't be bothered to train. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, the last thing I could think about doing right now is going to the gym and training. Or
luckily you're already there.
Yeah, a lot of the time I'm already there. Or you're halfway through a session and you look at what you've got next and you're like, really, like, why have I programmed this for myself? I hate it. I hate it. I'm not doing it. I don't want to do it. Or cardio afterwards. Really don't want to do cardio today, but I need to, and that's the point. I need to. It's disciplined. I haven't stopped and and given in to my own sort of thoughts and opinions on my training. Like that's the dedication and the discipline of me trying to set out to achieve what I want to achieve. And yeah, of course there's days where we're going to slip up, and of course there's days where the motivation's going to drop and you just don't feel like you're in it, or you feel like you're having a shit session or whatever it is. But that's the whole point. That's why we're there. It's dedication, discipline.
Yeah. I think the one most valuable thing you could probably learn on your fitness journey is that you cannot rely on motivation. If you rely on motivation, if we all relied on motivation to get our workouts done, we'd probably only get half of them done, maybe, because some days we're motivated, some days we're not. Maybe you're motivated on a Monday, then Friday comes around and you don't think about it for the weekend. Like, it's not motivation, it's that emotion that's attached to the goal that you have. Yeah. That's what you need to get in tune with. Like, you need to sit down with yourself and go, why? Like, what's the point in me doing this? Well, if there is no point, you're not going to do it. But if it's because you feel really shit about yourself, you hate looking at yourself in the mirror, clothes don't fit right, it's affecting your self-esteem, that's why you go. Because that will continue to stay the same if you don't change anything. So remind yourself why this is important to you, why you want it, and that will get you there. If you're sat on the sofa and you're like, I just really can't be bothered, but then you say to yourself, but wait, if I don't go and do this, I'm going to continue to feel this way. If I do go, that's one step closer to my goal, one step to changing my life, to feeling happier, to being more confident, whatever it is. That's what gets you there. And that's what gets us there. It's because we have goals we want to achieve, and we're really in, like, our reason why we do it is we remind ourselves of it every single day. Yeah. And that's what gets us there, not motivation.
Motivation gets you to the porch. Discipline gets you through the door.
Love that.
So it's just a case of, motivation is only going to get you so far, and it might get you to the gym every day, but then actually eventually there's going to be points where you're like, I'm not motivated for this. I've had a long day. I'm tired. I just want to rest. But then it's the discipline that kicks in and goes, no, like, just do it.
Yeah. And then it's done.
Just do it every time.
You never regret a workout. You always walk out feeling better than whatever you end up doing. Even if you go and you go, do you know what? I don't have the energy.
I've definitely regretted some workouts before.
Yeah, some, but it releases feel-good hormones.
Yeah.
So you will feel better. Even if you decide to not do weights that day and just do cardio, or even just do some steps. Like,
what do we say to ourselves? Like, if we're both having a terrible day and the other one, we're like, I just really don't have the motivation to train today. We say 5 exercises. Yeah. Just do 5 exercises. And more often than not, we'll get about 3 exercises in and you're going, oh, I feel kind of good today.
It's actually the best session of the week.
I just hit a PB.
Yeah. So
and that's all it takes. Yeah. And then before you know it, you're flying through the rest of your session and you're loving life. Yeah. Then you leave and you go, what was wrong with me earlier?
Don't give in. Yeah. Keep going.
So I hope that answers your question, Les.
Yeah, I hope that helps.
And that's how it works for us anyway.
Yes. Obviously, don't take what we say as gospel. It's just our own opinion and experiences. But yeah, I think that's the end of the episode. Time flies again.
Yeah.
Do you know what we have to stop doing?
What's that?
Not eating before the podcast, because all we talk about is food.
Starving.
I'm starving. What are we having for dinner? Fakeaway Nando's?
Nando's?
I would love a Nando's.
No, I think we're gonna cook something up. I've got some chicken sausages that need eating.
We make some lovely recipes, by the way. Like we made a chicken burger on the weekend. People always say to me, "Oh, but I just love a takeaway." So do I. But they make me feel like shit. So we make our own at home.
And my bank hates me when I buy takeaways.
Exactly. We've just done a massive food shop and then you go and get a takeaway.
Spend 40 quid on a takeaway and you're like...
And it's not even that good. And then you feel awful the next
Especially
day.
Deliveroo and it's cold and
yeah.
they missed something and
No, we just make them at home. It's fun. Like we can make it hit our calories and macros. Tastes amazing. Just have to be a little bit more experimental, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. And there's so many resources out there now that you can find and people are doing. Just Google healthy fakeaway.
Yeah.
Bam. There you go.
So many good ones.
It's definitely worth doing if you like a little treat, and that's it. You just do it like a treat. Do it like you would do for a takeaway. If it gets to a Friday and you always get like a takeaway with your family, well, maybe try cooking something. It's not. They're very easy. They're very straightforward. If you've got kids, get the kids involved as well.
Yeah, maybe do like a make your own pizza night, and then everyone gets to choose their base, and you can buy like pre-made dough, obviously. Yeah. So then have a little activity night.
We do it with flatbreads, don't we?
Yeah.
Exactly. Or let's say you've got your kids love a McDonald's. You could probably make like your own chicken nuggets with cornflakes crushed up and stuff and bits of chicken. Like,
it takes a little bit more effort, but
they'll love it though. They'll have so much fun doing it.
Maybe we can go into that in a bit more detail in another episode. Cheat meals and fakeaways.
Oh, that's a good shout.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening for 10 whole episodes.
Yeah, 10 episodes.
Can't believe it.
Jesus. Once again, as I said last week, if you do get the chance and you've listened this far, we'd love it if you could share this podcast with one person, friend or family member, and hopefully they then do the same.
Get something from it.
Obviously, please share it with people who actually might enjoy it, not just random people.
Yeah.
But we enjoy doing this every single week and we want to continue doing that. So if any of you have any gym stories or questions to shoot our way, as always, we love to hear them. So find us on social media, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram at That Gym Couple Podcast. And YouTube as well is at That Gym Couple Podcast, and you can listen to us on Spotify and Apple Music, Apple Podcasts. Sorry, not Apple Music. We don't make songs yet.
Yeah, I think they get the picture.
And hopefully we catch you next week.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.